For my purposeful play presentation, I did impromptu speaking. For those of you who don't know, impromptu means being done without planning, rehearsal, or organization. And the reason why I know what this is because it was a competition event on my speech and debate team in high school. And I didn't do it, but I know of people who did. What I did instead was something called original oratory. And what this was I got 10 minutes to talk about anything I wanted. I got to research and plan a speech, and I got to talk about this one topic for over 10 minutes. And I thought because I could memorize a speech, I was a good public speaker. But what I realized is that in real life, you're not going to have a script that tells you exactly what to say. You're going to come into contact with people, and you're going to have to talk about stuff that you're not really familiar with. There's going to be topics that you're not sure every answer, and there's going to be people where you're not really sure what they're saying. So I thought it was really important to learn impromptu speaking because the people who did it in my speech and debate team were really good conversationalists, and they were really good at small talk. And the setup or the formatting with impromptu speaking is really simple. What happens is you have to pick 3 topics out of a hat at random, and you pick the one that you're most comfortable talking about. And once you pick your topic, you have a kind of prep time. You have 1 to 2 minutes to figure out what you're going to say, and once you have that figured out, you try to give around a 5-minute speech, give or take. And so for this presentation or this project, I decided to do 2 weeks with 3 recorded speeches. And so what I did was the first week, I recorded a speech without any practice or any rehearsal. I just gave it straight up. And then the second, I went a week with practice and rehearsals, and then I recorded a second speech, and then I went another week of practice and rehearsals, and then I gave a third speech. So how did this all go? Well, the first attempt was a complete disaster. It was a complete fail. I did really poorly because there was no good verbs, or my supporting details were very bad, and I didn't have a good argument. My argument was very bad, and I used a lot of filler words like and lag, and I just couldn't really get off the ground, and it ended up being around 3 minutes, so it was really bad. And the second speech was much better. It wasn't as well as it could have been, but it was still really good because I was able to talk about each point a little longer, and I wasn't using as many filler words, and I was able to really have a strong argument about what I was saying. And finally, the third speech I think was the best because I was able to talk about each point for 4 to 5 minutes, and the speech ended up being way over 5 minutes. And I thought it was really good because there was minimal filler words, and I was able to really have a strong argument and talk about many supporting details within that argument. So I think it went the best. And what you're about to see is a clip from my third speech where you're going to see where I picked the topic, what I did for my prep time, and then the introduction of the speech. Alright, first topic. Laughter is the best medicine. Second, intelligence is not enough. And the third, ill health begins in the mind. Out of these, I'm definitely going with intelligence is not enough. I think I can really come up with something good and clear. Alright, so with intelligence is not enough, the first thing I think of is college applications because, you need more than the smarts. The second thing I think of, probably, good speaking skills because if you're just smart, that's not going to get you anywhere, so. And the last one, I think I see this in my own life, so I think I'm going to say, compassion and empathy. So, here's my speech. So, many people think that to be the most well-rounded person, or the best person, you need to be the smartest. And that's not always the case. Having intelligence is important, but if you were just smart, that wouldn't really get you anywhere in life. So I think it's very essential to have multiple traits, multiple skills, as well as intelligence to build your personality, build your character, and build you as a person so that you can be the best that you can possibly be. So I kept going, but this little clip just shows that it's possible to talk about a topic on the spot. And the reason why I thought this was an important topic is because I look around and I look at Georgia Tech. There are people who are shy, introverted, and they don't know how to talk to people. And there are people who are really smart, but they have a hard time finding a job because they can't share their intelligence. They don't know how to talk to people and it's really important to know how to talk to people in order to build relationships and make connections. I know growing up, I wasn't offered a public speaking class, and I'm guessing a number of people didn't as well. It's an important skill to have, because verbal communication isn't going away. We are always going to need to talk to people, but this generation finds it hard because they would rather email, text, or do anything but talk to people. If you don't know how to talk to people, you're not going to get very far in life. There is going to be an interview. There is going to be a job that requires you to communicate with others. But with impromptu speaking, our generation can become better prepared for those conversations. It forces you out of your comfort zone, and it forces you to fill the silence. It's the best way to simulate a real life conversation.